Hey, it's Ashley the Boot Babe, and I am live in Las Vegas, Nevada with the one and only Mackenzie Kimbro. We are about 20 days into this, I think. How long have you been here?
17 years, I think, at this
Oh,
point. No, it's been, I think we're on day 13 or 14 of this. We've been producing a show every morning on stage, and it's just been a whirlwind of a ride and a heck of a work trip, but it's been fun. We've had a long time here, but it's been a good one.
okay. You are a sixth generation cattle rancher.
Yes.
And where do you live?
I live in Southern Arizona, and I ranch full time with my family, and then I also do Western fashion and lifestyle content for social media. So it's really fun to mesh the two worlds. I like to say it's where grit and glam collide because I'm all about the sparkles. Today I'm in a full sparkle outfit, but then also, of course, showcasing shades of our Southwestern lifestyle is something that's really important to me too.
Yeah, I've seen as it's unfolded. You've had a show here for the last 5 years, and this year you got to air it on the Cowboy Channel. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Yeah, so that was such a huge blessing. Definitely something that the crew and I underestimated the amount of work on. We've produced the show for 5 years. It's live on stage at the Roper Cowboy Marketplace every morning, and it's called Roots Run Deep Vegas Edition, and it's all about showcasing shades of our Southwestern lifestyle. We have multi-generational ranch and rodeo families, a lot of fashion brands, styling segments, things like that, and then truly topics that embody the cowboy culture. This year on stage, we got to film it and edit it into episodes that are airing on the Cowboy Channel. And then all of that content next year, throughout the next year, actually, will also be airing as a podcast on rural radio, which is SiriusXM channel 147. So lots of good things going on, lots of content going out that we're able to share a lot of people's stories. It's been pretty neat.
Yeah, and what's
Yeah.
great is you get to practice every single day.
Yes.
So when you go home, you're now the newscaster again.
Yes, I don't know how to get my regular volume and tone of voice back because at this point I am so used to broadcast stuff that I probably sound like I'm trying to pitch somebody all the time.
Oh my gosh, cute. So tell me about your family.
Yeah. Sixth generation cattle rancher. I work every day with my grandpa Warner and my mom Kelly. And we just try really hard to keep all the things going. We have 3 ranches down there. We have a really cool dynamic, and that's something that I don't take for granted because a lot of multi-generational families maybe don't get along as well as we do. But we're able to work with each other day in and day out. And I truly have so much respect for the way that my mom and my grandpa have done things forever. And it's just really neat to be able to have the opportunity to learn from them when I'm still this young in my career.
Yeah. Really neat that you get to work with your family. That is something most people don't get to do. Tell me, you have what kind of cows? Just give me a brief synopsis of how your day goes when you're at home.
Yeah, we have 3 ranches down in Southern Arizona. They have a very diverse ecosystem down there. So it's really rocky, rough country, but we go down from desert flats all the way up into the mountains. So that's super cool. The cattle that have done best there throughout our lives are kind of F1 crossbreds, but when the market went towards Black Angus, we did too, just to adapt, and that's fine. The herd that we've got now has been there a few generations of cows, and so they're adapted to the rocky country. They do well. They're pretty thrifty. They'll find feed wherever you need it to, and they're pretty docile. So all around, a pretty good breed to have down in that part of the country.
Yeah, really fun. Tell me about your family. You have kids.
I do not have kids, actually. No kids, not married. Very much devoted to what I have going on in my career and things like that. And it's a little bit tricky, and I say this pretty openly. It's hard to find somebody that can fit in with what we have going on and roll with the punches. But he's out there somewhere. We'll get it figured out someday.
Okay, I like this interview because
Yeah.
I've had a lot of this on these interviews because it's really hard to find and date in this culture and
It
community.
is. Yes,
Girl,
it is.
it's not easy, and anyone that's listening can relate to this. This is mostly women that listen to this podcast, and they are all curious about what goes on in their dating life. How do they function? But you seem very devoted to what you have going on, and the right man will just walk in at the perfect time. But if you're listening and you are a guy, she is single, so you should take her out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What are your prerequisites, though? What's your dream man?
Oh man, oh that's tough. I think I'm pretty tall, so I would like somebody that's tall. Also somebody that can just jump in, like I said, to whatever we have going on and be able to handle it. Doesn't have to be a cowboy, but extra points if they are, just because ranching...
Oh, I think he has to be
He needs to be a cowboy. That's teachable to a point, but if he has a respect for the way of life, I think that's important. And just the knowledge that what I have going on is a lot of what we'll be doing because, like I said, I'm putting a lot into my career, and so I'll be able to support them emotionally and in their career as well, but it's got to be somebody that's okay with me being devoted to what I have built also.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about what you've built and what makes you unique to the Western community.
Oh gosh, so I've tried really hard to
diversify the way that I contribute to the community. I'm a social media content creator, so I share a lot of our lifestyle and fashion and things like that to Instagram and Facebook. And then, of course, with the show that airs during the national finals, that's trying to share other people's stories about hearts behind the brands when it comes to things that are available here, styling tips, etc. But I think what makes me unique is my perspective as a 6th-generation cattle rancher. I have fully embraced this lifestyle. I plan to continue on with the ranches no matter what else I have going on. And I have so much respect and hold so much value in the generations that have come before us. So I try to learn as much as I can from them and then give it the modern twist that we need to be able to adapt as a Western industry. So everything that I do revolves around that, and I just pray that I'm doing an okay job at that.
You're doing good. So tell me about, like, when I think of you, I think that you have amazing style and you go out of your way to make sure everyone feels included. Yes. Tell me a little bit about that, because Western fashion is off the rails right now as far as the social media searches go, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
But just talk to me about how that works in your head and how you go about it.
Yeah, so definitely want to make sure that everybody feels included. Like I said, I'm a tall gal, but I'm also curvy and plus size, and Western fashion always hasn't been adaptive to that. So a big goal of mine in everything that I share is to find pieces that are adaptable for whatever body size and height you are, because there's nothing worse than, I've walked in quite a few fashion shows for Western fashion over the last couple of years. There's nothing worse than being the plus size tall girl and the only thing they can give you to wear is a poncho. So I've been working with brands a lot over the last couple of years trying to develop some new pieces that are more versatile, really looking at the designs when it comes down to it to build something that's adaptable to a lot of body types. So that's something that I try to do a lot on the back end with brands, but then also on the front. When I find those pieces, there's no gatekeeping when it comes to me. If I find something good, I'm going to share it so that everybody can have confidence in their wardrobe. I also try to help them find things that are affordable and versatile so that they can really build their style off of that.
Yeah, tell me what you wore this year.
Oh my gosh. This year, NFR fashion definitely leaned a little bit more towards timeless classic Western pieces, which was beautiful. Very Ralph Lauren inspired. So I do a lot of blazers, a lot of denim. I had a cool blouse this year that had a denim bow tie, and then I added like a sequin cape over that. Definitely taking those closet staple pieces and dressing them up, elevating them. Today is a little bit off the rail for me. It's a full sequin outfit, top and pants. But we're ending the NFR, so might as well do it on a sparkly note. But really liking the way that the trends are going in the Western industry. There is a space for the glitz, the glam, and the sparkle, but there is a lot more emphasis on timeless Western as well, and I think that's really cool. Of course, as someone who values the Western lifestyle from a ranching perspective and from a cowgirl mentality, I love to see those Western elements being brought back to the forefront.
Yeah, I think that will continue through the year for sure.
Yes.
Into 2024. Tell me about what you think will happen in 2024.
Oh gosh, I think denim is not going anywhere. I like the twist that we're seeing on denim now where it's becoming embellished. So there's a way to jazz it up, whether that's with the stitching details or with actual pearls and rhinestones and things like that, in a different way than we saw in the early 2000s where it was only on the back pockets. I'm seeing a lot of it now around like distressed denim for a more casual look, and then also that Western denim adding in like boot stitch detailing. I think that's a cool twist on it as well. And then really trying to edge back towards classic, classy pieces so that they can be a polished look. I love a good blazer. I like the way that a lot of brands are elongating the torso of jackets. I'm here for a cropped look, but I also love something that gives you just a little bit more coverage. So I'm excited to see what comes of that in 2024. I think Ralph Lauren's style is going to influence a lot in the next year or two for Western fashion. The horse prints are a big deal. And also a little bit of a crossover between Western and equestrian, bringing in prints that have horse heads, but also snaffle bits and horseshoes and things like that in a classy way. So it's not overdone, but it's understated.
I love that. Yeah. You need your own line.
Oh, I'm working on it.
Are you?
That's on the bucket list. I've been able to work with some cool brands and the designs, as I was saying earlier. But it would be a dream to be able to work with some and create pieces that they can carry through seasons. I think that's a goal.
And tell me, so who do you love? Who are you working with here?
Gosh, I love working with Roper and Stetson. The design team there is phenomenal. Liberty Black Boots is also a good one. Of course, the boot babes out here are going to appreciate that one. They just came out with a line of wide width and wide calf boots, which is desperately needed in this industry. I don't know the amount of times that people have said boots are just uncomfortable because they have a wider foot. We needed a wider boot and we needed a wider calf. Some of us have athletic calves out here and we want to wear the tall tops too. So they just came out with that line, and that's a dream collab. I would love to work with them to create one that was like Roots Run Deep Rancher inspired. Fingers crossed, maybe we can manifest that into reality.
I love how they listen. I know that they do, and it's interesting because consumer research is something that hasn't been done a lot in the boot industry, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of these companies are owned by people that really love their last and love their thing, but I went and tried on some Lucchese while I was here.
Oh, yes.
And they changed their last in the Priscilla.
Okay.
I used to not be able to get it on. For 3 years, I tried to get this boot on, but I just have a little bit of a high-end step. I wear a size 9.5. And I couldn't. I went and stuck it on, and I was like, you guys changed the last. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, I fit thousands of people in cowboy boots.
Yep.
And it's fun. So are you, like right now, what are you going to wear when you get back home? What do you wear every day? What's your everyday wardrobe?
Okay, when I get home, it depends on the day. There are days that I film things and have to be dressier, but Cowgirl Classy is something that I always try to carry. I either wear Stetson jeans or rock and roll denim jeans because they make long enough inseams. A 38-inch inseam gal over here, and those are hard to find. Classic dark wash usually. I'm not huge into the light denim when it comes to day, but that dark wash is something that's easy to elevate or dress casually for ranching. Back to boots probably, and we have cattle to ship when I'm getting home, so Roper Pearl snaps will be in the lineup in the wardrobe. But then, I don't know, I'm pretty casual when we go home from the NFR because we've put it all on the line out here to wear our best of the best. And we've got to regroup before January because I'll also be going to Art of the Cowgirl and to Dallas Market for a day or two to talk to some of these brands to get the year started right. So I'll be dressing up through January, and then February, there's not going to be a lot going on Instagram for me because I will be in scrubs, basically.
You're like pajamas. February's
yeah.
pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
Yeah, don't look to me for style content in February, that's for sure.
Roper has an amazing line of pearl snaps that fit everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. They're women's and they're tailored and they fit good. You love those.
I do, and they go up to a size 3X, which is awesome. I size up to a 3X. I'm usually a 2. Just because I like the extra length in the torso. They have a little bit short arm for me, but I also love their men's styles. The women's have a cool like V-neck feature where the snaps start a little bit lower so it's more flattering. Honestly, you can't go wrong. The prints are great. The material holds up. I've worn them plenty of long days in the saddle and they're comfortable, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, Roper definitely fits all of the sizes. Stetson, not so much.
Right.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, just know if you're shopping Roper and you're looking for curvy sizes, they are the best. Roper for sure.
Yep.
What's your dream? What do you want in the end of all this?
I've actually thought about that a lot lately just because I'm turning 28 soon, and every time that I have a birthday coming up, I have a mini panic attack, as I'm finding a lot of us do. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing with my life? And I think that I am. I talk to God about it quite a bit, and I pray pretty hard on it. I know that I'm supposed to continue my family's ranching legacy. That has been put on my heart for a long time. And so no matter what I do, that's what I'll continue. But I think with the opportunities that I've been able to have, even in the last couple of years, of venturing into the Western fashion and lifestyle content industries and working with media and broadcast and TV and things like that, I do think that there is still space for that in the career looking forward. Where that will take me, I don't know. I couldn't have told you 5 years ago that I'd be doing what I am now. Didn't even know half of it was an option at that point. And so I think that's a really unique part of the Western industry is we're catching up on the times and we're creating opportunities daily. And I don't know, always on the lookout for stuff. I think it'd be cool eventually, this is a lofty dream, to have a series on the Cowboy Channel where I'm able to do half-hour episodes every week, whether it's an interview with somebody or views from the ranch, cooking segments. Cooking is something that I'm super passionate about as well. All that kind of stuff. We got to do just a smidge of it during the NFR show this year. We got to incorporate some segments like that. A trial run. We're getting a lot of really positive feedback on it. So we'll see what that turns into.
Yeah, it's a good way. Kelly Clarkson's show. It's your own. Yeah, they need that, right?
Yeah.
Like we need a human talking about all these things. Tell me about your cooking. You have a cookbook.
I do, yes. That's how actually this all started. After high school, I wrote a coffee table cookbook called Roots Run Deep, Our Ranching Tradition. And it's all about our ranch life. It just really touches on the tip of the iceberg. It has recipes from old family stories and also some that I've created, and then some from neighbors, things like that have passed down through generations. It has a lot of photos of our ranch life, very much coffee table inspired because it tells a lot of stories throughout. Maybe a second cookbook coming soon, but for now that one's available on my website, which is rootsrundeepaz.com. I've sold over 1,000 copies since writing it, which was plenty, but we still have some left. And it's always cool to get somebody who has ordered the book before or has been gifted the book, and then they reach out and they say, this book has been passed through my family, I give it to my neighbors, we all cook out of it all the time, we love the stories, we love the pictures, all of that. So that's good. That's inspiration to write another one. We'll just see when I have extra time in my schedule to start that.
You are so busy. I love this about you. Yeah. Are you thinking, what's your favorite recipe in the book?
Ooh, that is a tough one, and it's something I have tried to pick for a while now. There's a staple in there that is tequila onions, and those are just simple tequila onions, butter, and some steak seasoning, and you can take those a lot of ways. We've eaten them on burgers, which our cowboy crew loves, but they're also a base in a meat stew that's in there, that's a beef stew. Obviously, cattle rancher, there's a whole chapter called Beef is Worth the Buck in the cookbook, and showcasing all kinds of different ways to cook beef. Common cuts as well as some that might be a little trickier for people. I try to make it very attainable. That whole chapter holds a special place in my heart, but those onions are sure the base of a lot of good stuff.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I am so excited to dive into that. I'm going to look into your cookbook because I love to cook, and I can't wait to see what's in there. You sell beef straight from the ranch?
We don't. We actually sell through the sale barn locally to feedlots so that they finish out and head into the nationwide beef supply. But it's something to look into maybe in the future. I definitely have support for those that are direct to consumer. I know that is a full-time job for sure. And I think there's a space for all of us where we go direct to consumer or go direct to market with it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on today.
Yeah.
This has been so fun. Where can we find you if we want to get in touch?
Yep, so all over social media. The handles are all different because each platform was started at a different time, but Facebook is Roots Run Deep, Mackenzie Kimbro. Instagram, my handle is very much personal to me. It's at Kenzie, KenziegK. That was one that started long before branding yourself was a thing, so that's what it'll be forever. And then my website is rootsrundeepaz.com.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yay. One more day.
One more day. We're almost there. We're powering through.
We're powering through. Thanks for being on today, Mackenzie.
I appreciate you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, this is Ashley, the Boot Babe, and I am live at the National Finals Rodeo 2023. This is wild here, folks. If you've never been, get here. This episode is sponsored by Las Vegas. If you need your trip for next year, make sure you get in touch with the Boot Babes. Have a great day. It's always cool to wear cowboy boots.